Together, start clapping, start clapping. Start clapping for Elaine Wynn!
There we go.
Thank you.
No words.
You're hysterical. Thank you. I have a lot of fun with you. Thank you all for coming out. This is like Shea Stadium seeing the Beatles. The crowd is unreal. I'll tell you a little about myself. I'm not the love child of Barbara Streisand and Barry Manilow. Especially today, you know, I have a rash and I can't wear any makeup, and then I have a black eye. So my friend said, "Oh, was it spousal abuse?" I said, "You need spousal to have spousal abuse." Domestic violence, you gotta make a bed once in a while to be called domestic. But and then with the rash, you were talking about the dating apps and all. I went to this Jewish singles thing they have on Long Island where they have a speaker. And this guy comes over and he looks at my rash and he goes, it was very rude, I thought. He went, "Is that terminal?" So I said, "That's not very nice. You know, I'm self-conscious enough about it." He said, "Because I'm looking for a short-term relationship, and if that's terminal, that's perfect for me."
Oh, no.
So I did that when I had this, I had to compensate. So anyway, I'll tell you more about myself. I taught in the toughest neighborhood in all of South Jamaica, Queens. That's where I taught school for I'm also retired, but I didn't teach for 40 years. I only taught for 20 years at PS 140. Really tough school in South Jamaica. And to tell you how tough, I also have a cough, by the way. To tell you how tough it was, when you walk in the school building, you see the colors of the school, black and blue. And when we were young, my friends will remember, we used to carve our sweetheart's name in the desk. These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. And, you know, the mayor used to say, no matter what goes on in the classroom, teachers, everything is a teachable moment. Just bring it into the lesson. So I'm breaking up a fight. I'm like 5 feet tall. I might be shorter now. And I'm breaking up this fight. And this kid goes, "He choked me terrible." And I said, "Stop. You're using your adverbs incorrectly. He choked you terribly." And they never gave us money for supplies in my school. Like some schools, they have all these beautiful computer rooms and all. I had to bring in my own scales when I was teaching measurement. So I went home, I brought in my bathroom scale, my Weight Watcher scale, and my cocaine scale.
Oh.
I'm only kidding. You're a lawyer, right, Ken? I'm a teacher. I never went to Weight Watchers. But did you ever see the little tray they have on top of the scale? It's really good for a banana split with some hot fudge. So yeah, I'm proud that some famous people went to the school where I was teaching. The Carol Jenkins, who's, you know, I usually don't say her name, but I knew Ken would remember her. She was on Channel 5 News her whole career, and I even friended her on Facebook. Hi, come on in. Yeah, Carol Jenkins. Yep. And then, hi. Welcome to Table 1. Table 2A.
Thank you.
So Carol Jenkins from Fox 5 News was a student in my school, and 2 NFL stars went to my school, and the ATM Bandit never did finish at my school. He never finished. Once this kid said, "Teacher, I have the word of the day and show and tell all in one." He says Glock, G-L-O-C-K. I wish that wasn't true. I didn't teach him that. I didn't teach him. So the other thing that happened at my school was, I know a lot of things to say when I'm stopped. Oh yeah, how about this thing about the participation trophies? Anybody know about these?
Yeah.
You know about those? Okay, so what it is for those who don't know is, all you have to do is show up at school and you get like an award. So this would have been good on my honeymoon. In fact, on both of my honeymoons, because I was married twice. Because they both participated, but very little was accomplished. Yeah, I was married to a Jewish guy from the Bronx, and then I was married to a Chinese guy. We're having the New Year soon. I had 3 New Years. At first I had the American New Year, and you have fireworks, and then you have Chinese New Year, which is February 5th, fireworks. But for the Jewish New Year, where are the fireworks, Barbara? Unless you eat my Aunt Esther's gefilte fish with a lot of horseradish, then there's fireworks.
Oh.
But people say to me, what's the difference between being married to a Jewish guy and a Chinese guy? And I go, very little difference. They're both cheap and drive terribly.
Oh.
And you know, I love what she was saying about the dating apps, because I met this guy from Brooklyn on a blind date, and he's showing me all his singles ads. Why are you showing me this? I met you on a blind date, very uncool. And you know what? He was from Bragg Street, Brooklyn, but he had very little to brag about.
Oh.
I'll tell you why, because on his singles ad, he lied. He said he loves long hikes. Then why are we in the lobby of your building? He presses the button and he goes up one flight. He couldn't walk up one flight, but he says he loves long hikes.
Right.
And then I met another guy from Brooklyn. His ad said, loves romantic horse and buggy rides. Hello, you're not Amish, you live in Sheepshead Bay. What's with the horse and buggy rides in Central Park? But I'm getting older too, and I know you're all young here, but I'm getting older and I try to have a funny attitude, because when you look in the mirror when you get older, every day you have something new. Like I have pound signs here, I have parentheses here, I have exclamation points here. I'll just lay down, you can send a text message on me. You heard of the information age? I'm headed for the inflammation age.
Oh.
The cuckoo on my biological clock is wearing depends. So, like I said, I'm trying to have a positive attitude. So instead of the Barraco's names, you know what these are, ladies? You don't have them yet, but I call mine the Google Roadmap to Adventure.
I love it.
Thank you. This road takes you to the Sterling Forest. I'll break that down to you girls who do the Brazilian and all.
Oh, God.
This road takes you to the Dead Sea.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and oh, I forgot to tell you about this boy in my class named Stephen Jefferson. Now you might say, why would you use his real name? Do you know why? Because I don't think I'll ever have a Netflix special where Stephen Jefferson will be sitting at home going, hey, Miss Witt's talking about me. Well, Stephen Jefferson was melting crayons on the radiator in 5th grade, honest to God. But now, what I know now is he was just training himself to be make crack cocaine. What do you call that? Methamphetamine or crack cocaine? What's the drug? I don't know.
You cook both of them.
Oh, yeah, he was just melting crayons though. So I used it in my joke. Once I went, there's a true story. Once I went to a funeral in my old neighborhood where I taught, and some of my students were outside. One of them had even been to jail. So I said, you boys were so hard to manage when I was teaching, but now I'm a comedian and I'm making fun of all the things that happened. That's not funny, that really happened. So, yeah, I was talking about getting older and having a sense of humor, and so, oh yeah, this is really exciting. I went to Woodstock 50 years ago, and now there's another Woodstock 50 years later. You know what Woodstock is? It's a concert, for those who don't know. Well, so there's a few differences. Like, I went to a concert in Coachella 50 years later. I'm going to go to Woodstock too, but I went to one 50 years later already last summer.
Yes,
And Bob Dylan was there, Mick Jagger. But the difference was, when the Rolling Stones sang Satisfaction, Mick Jagger went like this to the audience to sing the chorus of Satisfaction.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. So I raised my hand, I stood up in front of thousands of people, I said, I came all the way out and I'm laying here in the sun watching this concert 50 years later, and you want me to sing the chorus to you? You sing it to me. And that really does happen. Like, I saw Rod Stewart, he sang Maggie May, and he went like this, he wants me to sing all of Maggie May to him. You know, it costs to go see a rock star in the garden. So that was inspired by a true story too. Well, anyway, in Woodstock, we used to have those VW buses, the hippies and all, and there was a sign on it that said, don't come a knocking, if this bus is a rockin'. Hi. Well, the bus in Woodstock 2019 will say, Don't come a-fussin' till I've had my Robitussin.
Oh.
Yeah, things are different now. Bob Dylan, he used to play the guitar and everything, and when the curtain went up in Bob Dylan, I was hearing Bob Dylan, but I didn't see him, and I hear the band, I hear him, and the song's almost over. But what I did see was this lady with long gray hair playing the organ. She looked like my Aunt Esther B. Greenbaum with a hat on. That was Bob Dylan.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they had a tent at Woodstock. Ken, what was the tent for? Do you remember?
Well, drugs.
Drugs, exactly. Hi, come on in.
Hi.
It was for bad acid
Bad
trips.
acid, yeah.
So, hi, come on in, you're part of the show. It was for bad acid trips, like if people were on a bad acid trip. But you know what the tent's for 50 years later? Bad acid indigestion. Well, I think my time's up, Chris. Okay, thank you.
No, she was doing her tea. She was amazing. Give it up for her one more time.